Okay, open your notebooks and create a section titled Vocabulary if you don't have one already. These are the vocabulary words for Act I of Julius Caesar. They will greatly help you understand Act I, and also we'll have a little quiz on them at some point. So you need to write down the word and the definition of the word, and you can pause the video and try to figure out the word using the context clues, and then turn it back on and I'll go over the definitions with you. So, in the play, Marulus and Flavius are angry that the commoners are out in the street celebrating, and they yell, "But wherefore art not in thy shop today?" Those of you who read Romeo and Juliet last year may remember the line, "Wherefore art thou Romeo?" a very famous line that also uses the word wherefore. It might seem like wherefore means where, because it has the word where in it, but it doesn't. So pause the tape for a moment and think about what Marulus and Flavius are really asking. They're angry that the commoners are out in the streets celebrating and not at work in their shops. So what do you think wherefore means? Correct. Wherefore means why. So make sure you have that in your notes. The next word is metal. Sometimes Shakespeare would spell it M-E-T-A-L. Sometimes he would spell it M-E-T-T-L-E. This is not metal as in iron or steel. I put a picture there of the Marvel comic character named Metal. And after Marulus and Flavius yell at the commoners and tell them to go back to work or go back and cry their tears in the river that they shouldn't be celebrating Caesar's victory, one of them says, either Marulus or Flavius says, "See whether their basest metal be not moved." So what do you think metal might mean based on that context and also based on the picture that I've provided? Metal has to do with a person's temperament or character, their ability to cope with a difficult situation. So Marulus and Flavius don't think the commoners have very good metal. They think they can be easily changed. The Marvel comic character there, though, as you can see, has very good metal. He looks like he can cope with a difficult situation. A very famous line from the play is, "Beware the Ides of March." And Ides just means middle, so that would be March 15th, which was the day that Caesar was assassinated. The word countenance is used a lot in the play. First, Cassius is talking to Brutus, and Cassius is concerned that Brutus is angry or upset with him. And Brutus replies, "Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself." So by taking a look at the picture there, and also remembering the context of that conversation, Cassius is afraid that Brutus is angry at him. What do you think countenance might mean? Countenance has to do with a person's facial expression. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they angry? The next word is portentous. Towards the end of the play, there's a terrible storm going on, and Casca meets Cassius in the storm, and Casca is very frightened. And Cassius says to Casca, "When these prodigies do so conjointly meet, let not men say, these are their reasons, they are natural, for I believe they are portentous things unto the climate that they point upon." So looking at the picture there and thinking about these horrible signs that Casca was seeing in the storm, what do you think portentous might mean? Portentous actually means a bad sign, an ominous foreshadowing of something to come, a bad omen. Then, out in that same storm, a very wise Roman named Cicero comes along, and Casca is still concerned about the things that he has been seeing. And Cicero says, "Indeed, it is a strange disposed time, but men may construe things after their own fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves." So taking a look at the picture and thinking about what Cicero is saying, what do you think construe might mean? Construe actually means to interpret. So Cicero is saying, well, people interpret things according to what they already believe. And the last word today is a word that will come up a lot in the play, and this word is enterprise. You may have heard of the famous Starship Enterprise from the Star Trek TV series. And this word comes up when Cassius is talking to Casca at the end of Act I during that storm. And Cassius says, "Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest-minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence." What do you think enterprise might mean in this context? What is Cassius really talking about? What is the enterprise that he's hinting at toward Casca? And also thinking about the Starship Enterprise, what was it used for? An enterprise is a difficult undertaking. And of course, Cassius doesn't want to come out right and say he wants to kill Caesar because maybe Casca doesn't agree with him. So instead, he's just hinting at it by saying he has an enterprise that he's going to undergo. So make sure you have these notes, these words in your vocabulary notes, and we'll discuss them as we read the play.